Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest from Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis. Game 2 of a 3-game series here tonight. The Cardinals looking to avenge a loss 7-4 here last night in Game 1. And we'll take a look at our DirecTV standings in the Central Division. The Cardinals trailing the Brewers by 3. The Pirates now in second place, 2.5 games out. So glad you're with us. I'm Rick Horton. This is Al Raboski. And Al, an important series with the Brewers. It's the team you're trying to chase. The Cardinals, of course, busy during the trading deadline, got a couple of starting pitchers, and we're going to see one tonight in Justin Masterson.
Yeah, we're anxious to see Justin Masterson. He comes off the disabled list. He was going to make the start yesterday for Cleveland, but he's pushed back a day. He's 6'5". He's got a great sinking fastball. He didn't have a particularly good season this year. A lot of complications with his knee. Hopefully that is cleared up, and hopefully he will provide dividends right away.
Masterson and Loesch are starting pitchers. The offense yesterday, Aramis Ramirez. How do you contain him? Holiday for the Cardinals. Baseball coming up next. Of a 3-game series here in St. Louis. It's time to look back at some special Cardinal moments against Milwaukee in 2014. We begin with Lance Lynn. This happened on April 14th. Lynn's 7 solid innings, just 3 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts that day as he snapped Milwaukee's 9-game winning streak. Next is Matt Adams. This came on April 30th. The Brewers had won the first 2 games of a series, and Matt Adams homered a 3-run shot off of Matt Garza to win that ball game. Our third hero is Matt Holliday, and this came on July 11th. Holliday in a 6-6 game homers in the top of the 9th off of Francisco Rodriguez to give the Cardinals a 7-6 victory. What hero will we have here today? The Cardinals and the Brewers are coming up on Fox Sports Midwest. To you by a reminder from Budweiser. Designate a driver and enjoy the great times. Come in and visit Mid-American Chevy dealers and make your move to Chevrolet today. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Welcome inside Busch Stadium. On deck tonight, Cardinal debut for Justin Masterson. We're also going to have a visit from the lone survivor, Marcus Luttrell. He will be speaking after the game at the Christian Day ceremony, and we'll have him during the game today. And the Cardinals hoping to avenge a loss here last night. Cardinals came back in that game, but a rough start. And here's the Milwaukee Brewers order: Gomez, Parra, Braun, 1, 2, 3, followed by Aramis Ramirez. He's the guy you worry about in the middle of the lineup. And looking forward to the debut of Justin Masterson. And this game is underway. Fastball up in the zone at 91. He stays right around 91 with the fastball. Heavy sinker, nasty slider when he's right. Peralta throws out Gomez. And we are underway. And let's take a closer look, Al, at the numbers, the key in numbers for Justin Masterson.
Well, not a very good year for him. He had trouble with his knee, inflammation in spring training. It lingered on and really was placed on the disabled list. Hasn't pitched since early July to take care of that knee and also some mechanical problems. But he was an all-star last year for Cleveland, former number 2 pick of the Boston Red Sox back in '06. And when he is right, you'll see a ton of ground balls, maybe the most ground balls of any pitcher in all of baseball.
A little bit like another former Cleveland Indian, Jake Westbrook, who is a ground ball machine. Masterson the same way. He will use the slider a lot as well. Again, when he's right, there's that sinker on the outside corner to Gerardo Parra.
He's had a lot of problems this year with command, and I think that could be related to the knee problem. Look at that right there. The breaking ball, but you can see how effective it is. It just eats up a pretty good little hitter.
Game time temperatures 88 degrees here in downtown St. Louis. Perfect night for baseball. The 1-2 pitch. And you can already see why he gets ground balls. Nearly 60% in his ratio.
Well, he's 6'6", 250 pounds, so it's easy for him to throw in a downward plane. Stay on top of that pitch and the bottom falls.
Parra stays alive. Masterson, even in his 2 rehab assignments, Al, as you talked about earlier, was not overly impressive.
No, not at all. ERA in 7 and a lot of walks, but he's pronounced himself well. And I think he kind of had to touch on the mental aspects of it a little bit too, but he resides in Indianapolis. Strange that he was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and the 4th major league player to reside from that tiny island.
Said he was there just for a couple years. His father was a teacher there.
And when his father was a foreign exchange student and then decided to go back there and teach for a couple years. Probably the most famous Jamaican would be, would you say, Chili Davis?
Say he had a pretty good career.
Yes, he did.
The 1-2. Masterson has been having issues with control this season, as Parra putting up a very pesky at bat. 8 pitches already. Masterson 2nd in the American League in walks, behind Ubaldo Jimenez. Pretty good pitch there. Thought he had the back door.
And I think a little bit of that could be contributed to the knee problems. He finally went on the DL to kind of get that knee straightened out, the inflammation there. But you alter your mechanics because you're ailing in the lower part of your body.
And a 1-out walk brings in Ryan Braun, and let's set the Cardinals defense for you here tonight. Behind Masterson, a much better defense than he had in Cleveland. Our Dobbs defense has Holiday, Borges, and Taveras in the outfield. Peralta and Wong up the middle. Matt Carpenter and Matt Adams at the corners, and Tony Cruz back behind the plate tonight. And the boos you hear for Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun. And enough said. Ryan broke an 0 for 19 streak in yesterday's game with a couple doubles.
First pitch to Braun is right down central. Braun, by the way, had his 100th and 101st hit here in game 1.
Talking about Masterson and the walks. Could be problematic for most pitchers, but if you're a good single baller, if you do walk somebody and then next batter hits in the ground ball double play.
It's a very interesting Brewers offense. I'm not sure how good they are, and I'm not sure they know how good they are. They have moments of brilliance and then moments where they all kind of go into slumps at the same time.
Right, and they say too that a lot of times it's right-handed pitching. The ground ball type pitcher is what gives them problems.
Sliders fouled off.
They like to score a lot of their runs via the home run, so if you can keep the ball on the ground, you got a good chance of beating them.
There's one of the numbers that Masterson excels at. Right-handers over the last few years hitting just .217 against him. And mostly right-handers in the lineup today. 6 of them. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Ryan Braun. His first strikeout as a Cardinal. And that leads us to our Toyota keys to the game, Al.
We talked about Masterson, and he's a pitcher that gets a lot of ground balls, so he must control the strike zone. You don't want to be walking everybody. And don't be too quick to judge Masterson on the mere fact that he hasn't pitched since the first week of July at the major league level. Coming off the disabled list, you got to give him a little time to get acclimated back to the big leagues. New team, new league.
Swinging a foul off the bat of Aramis Ramirez, who is 6 for 13 in his career against Masterson. In fact, a few batters in this lineup have had success against the new Cardinal right-hander. Overbay has hit him well, and so has Scooter Gennett, who's back in the lineup today after a little bunting mishap in early BP yesterday. Three hits for Ramirez last night, 2 RBIs. His 13th home run, and he has just hit the Cardinals well. There goes the runner, throw down to second, and not in time as Parra steals his 6th base of the season.
Parra was picked up at the trading deadline from Arizona for Milwaukee, and really kind of going to be like the 4th outfielder, a great defensive player, but he's a little pesky little player that makes himself known. Here he steals a base, helps himself get to scoring position. 2-time Gold Glove winner. 2011 he won it in left field. 2013 he won the Gold Glove in right field.
RBI opportunity for Ramirez, and the pitch home is grounded, and it's fair inside the bag. And the Brewers are going to jump out on top again here tonight. 1-0. RBI base hit following the stolen base by Aramis Ramirez.
And it's that guy again. His 51st RBI for Ramirez, 138th in his career against St. Louis. Masterson looking for the ground ball. It's a slider and just placed right over the bag. Kind of hard to defend that one.
Ramirez finds a hole, and now Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy, an all-star for the first time this year, takes strike one. He too having a big season, 35 doubles, 2nd in the National League, 308 batting average, and good power. Oh, 1-2.
Roy on the pace for 52 doubles this year. Be the 3rd Brewer in franchise history to have over 50 in a season.
That pitch nearly hits Lucroy. Ramirez not much of a threat to steal. He does have 3 stolen bases. And now thinking back on that pitch that Ramirez hit, notice that Masterson was really paying a lot of attention to Parra late in his delivery and kind of just flipped that slider up over the plate. I wonder if he'd like to have that thought process back again.
I would think so, because 2 outs, you know, Parra can't do anything if you get the hitter out. You lose Ramirez and you're down 1-0.
1-2 the count to Jonathan Lucroy. Brewers on the board first here in game 2. Ground ball right side. Long throws out Lucroy. Cardinal nemesis, Aramis Ramirez. Doesn't matter what uniform he wears, he hits the Cardinals so well. 1-0 Milwaukee. Loesch and Masterson. These two have battled each other before. We're going to flash back to Masterson and Loesch pitching here at Busch Stadium. This was June 9th. Masterson was good, but Loesch was better.
And Kyle Loesch is still very good.
Different uniforms. Loesch now a Brewer. Innings pitched over 146, up among the league leaders. He is a durable right-hander.
Well, you look at the 11-5, and he really has not gotten much run support, but his also has been victimized by a team-high 5 blown saves. So he's having a very good season, and it should be even better.
You know he's going to be around the plate. Facing Matt Carpenter. Leads the Cardinals with 68 runs scored and 60 walks. On base percentage up over 380 now.
Matt, 5-game hitting streak, 9 for 19, but he's really struggled against Kyle Loesch, 1 for 11.
Little flare to left. Parra. Gold Glovers don't drop those. Out number 1. Kyle Loesch will face this Cardinal lineup here tonight. Matt Carpenter we've already seen. Colton Wong and Matt Holliday to follow. .325 average against Milwaukee with 4 home runs this season. Matt Adams in the cleanup spot, followed by Johnny Peralta, Oscar Taveras in right, Peter Borges in center. Tony Cruz behind the plate, batting 8th, and Justin Masterson just 0 for 3 on the season. Pitches and bats 9th. Hard hit center field. This is deep. Gomez on the move at the track. And this ball is gone. Home run, Colton Wong. And the score is tied at 1.
That brought a little energy to the ballpark. That's the 14th home run that Kyle Loesch has served up this year, and this is his 23rd start. See, 7th home run and 6th home run since Colton Wong came off the disabled list late in the first half.
Tell the Cardinals want to swing early in the count against Kyle Loesch. They know what he can do if he gets ahead. Going to be around the plate. The long home run at 408 feet.
Kyle's got a lot of weapons. Like a lot of pitchers early in the game, they're trying to feel for it, and that pitch is up. And Colt Wong hit a couple balls to deep center field on the road trip, but puts this one in the seats. Gomez, with his valiant effort, he got up there pretty high.
Wow.
It was in the first row, and anything less, it might have been caught.
Holiday strikes out on a pitch up in the zone. We'll show you the Milwaukee Brewers defense, brought to you by Dobbs. You saw Gomez trying to make a circus catch in center. He has Braun and Parra on his left and right. Segura and Jeanette up the middle, while Overbay plays first. He's a veteran, as is Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman. Jonathan Lucroy, the all-star catcher, and Kyle Loesch, who fields his position very well. Both pitchers today not necessarily overpowering. They work better down in the zone. Movement more their style. Matt Adams at 311, still fourth in the National League in batting.
He's 3 for 5 off of Kyle Loesch. I think one word to, all right, word to define Loesch is pitch maker.
Yes. Bounced over the head of Loesch. Segura, very quick, and he throws out Matt Adams. But the Cardinals even the score thanks to Colton Wong. 1-1 through 1. The first inning has tied this game. Milwaukee with Overbay, Jeanette, and Segura in the top of the second. Rick Horton with Al Roboski. We also have Jim Hayes with us. And Jim, I know you have plenty to report on, but let's start with the Cardinal outfielder, John Jay.
Yeah, John Jay is sitting tonight with a left wrist issue. He told me that he tweaked it on a check swing in San Diego. He says it feels like it's improving, but he had no idea when he might return to the lineup. For his part, Mike Matheny says Jay remains day-to-day. Mike says Jay's wrist is still sore, so he won't pinch hit in all likelihood. But Mike says John can still pinch run and play defensively. Sort of a waiting game for John Jay.
So the Cardinals a man down here in game 2. They have Brzezinski from the left side and Descalzo, but no John Jay. Borges doing a nice job in center. But, Jim, I also want to ask you about, it's almost hard to say it, the former Cardinal Joe Kelly He's going to get a start, we have learned, against Shelby Miller, and that's coming up in the Boston series.
Yeah, and those two, as you know, are best of friends, close as can be. They were best man at each other's wedding. Now they will be facing each other on the mound. Now both are saying it's just another start, but for them it's really not. Joe was emotional about the trade that sent him to Boston. Shelby emotional, talking about both of his friends, Kelly and Alan Craig, who were dealt to Boston. So this one is different. Kelly texted me 2 words. He said, "I'm excited," but he was trying to downplay it. And Shelby is saying it's just another start, but I don't buy it. For those guys, I think they're not only very competitive, but they're such close friends. This is going to be special for both of them. And I think Cardinal fans are going to get real excited to see this matchup. Should be a special evening.
No question. Jim, thank you very much. Also looking forward to Alan Craig coming back to St. Louis, and I assume both those guys, Al, will get a tremendous ovation from the Cardinal fans here.
No doubt about it. I think they both wore the Cardinal uniform very well and came through the system. I think the fans appreciated their talents, and we all wish the departed very well, except for those 3 games next week.
Scooter Gennett hits from the left side. Will control issues facing Masterson here in the second. He gets the ground ball, but foul past Adams. Gennett having a good season, over 300. And what's interesting about these Brewers, we mentioned how hot and cold they are as a team offensively. Really, they're hot and cold wins and losses, too. They have long streaks, both positively and negatively for Ron Renneke, but they have beaten some very, very good pitchers, including Mr. Price.
And they did that right before the trade deadline. Cardinals were hoping that David Price would give them a parting gift and defeat the Brewers, and that was Gallardo threw a shutout and beat David Price and the Rays.
2-1 the count to Gennett. Overbay the runner at first, not a threat to steal, not going. And there's the ground ball to second base. Wong to short for 1 on to first, and they got him. Very well turned by Johnny Peralta. 4-6-3 double play, and that is what Masterson is all about.
Well, that's, you don't like the walks at all, but if you can get that ground ball and turn it into a double play after a walk, it's not so bad. And Gennett, who runs pretty well, and you can see they go after Peralta there, just bang, bang play, but definitely out at first base. Gennett, by the way, with batting .384 against the Cardinals. Not that many at bats. Came up late last year, but he took and won the second base job away from Ricky Weeks.
Been taking notes from Ramirez, hasn't he? Ground ball right side. Adams leaves his post, but gets back in time. Good inning for Masterson. Peralta, Tavares, Borges. When we come back. Score. Johnny Peralta due up for St. Louis. Kyle Loesch and Justin Masterson. And it's time for you to tweet your photo using STL Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T. Cardinals lost game 1 here last night, 7-4, but a nice comeback, Al, in that 9th inning. Kind of left you with a good feeling, didn't it?
Well, sometimes it does. You know, you just feel like a little more fight, and you feel like, okay, we ran out of innings, or otherwise we would have got you. So I'd much rather see some late runs scored and fall short than keep on throwing up zeros.
Maybe not a good feeling. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but certainly a better feeling.
Yeah, it kind of gets you ready for the next day.
2-0 to Peralta. And that ball is smoked to left field. That's deep. Get out of here. And it does. Clear the left field wall. Home run number 15 for Johnny Peralta. 2-1 St. Louis.
Out of a rare Peralta home run. 15 home runs, but 10 of those have come on the road. And Peralta is now 6 for 18 with that home run off of Kyle Loesch. We talked about it last night, but the Cardinals were not a home run hitting team. Remember, they hit 15 in the matchups before last night's game.
Against Milwaukee.
15-2, something like that?
15-5, I believe.
Each team hit a home run last night, but the Cardinals got 2 here today.
Tavares rolls over that pitch, and he is retired. 429 feet on that home run by Peralta. A no-doubter, and boy, if you're Masterson and Lackey, you say, what do you mean you guys can't hit home runs?
Look at this. Look at that swing. You know, just really an uppercut swing. High fly ball goes into the visitors' bullpen. And now Peralta with 15 home runs. The Cardinal record for home runs by a shortstop is 16. I think we'll have a new record this year.
I would think so. Strike one to Borges. We mentioned yesterday had a very good July. Hit 360, limited playing time, but he was certainly productive. There's that big Loesch slider. Took a little off of that, 0-2.
And because of John Jay's wrist, Borges getting a little extended playing time, and hopefully he'll catch fire.
Off balance swing, flared to right. Braun had trouble seeing that at first. Both Braun and Gomez dealing with sun in right field and center field. Keep the savings going this year at On the Run. When the Cardinals score 6, get any size coffee, fountain, frozen drink for just 50 cents the next day. So don't just root for the Cardinal wins, root for 6 runs all season long. And come celebrate at your nearest On the Run.
I can just envision Danny Mac right now pounding his chest.
I kind of started that, actually.
Well,
but Danny
but
sure
you know,
liked
he'll
it.
catch on.
Oh, of course. Danny's pounding his chest somewhere right now, I'm sure.
That's the first time I had a chance to hear it.
You had not heard that
No,
song?
I was over in the studio.
Oh, it's got
I saw the movie. I know the story behind it.
It's got a nice beat. It's just hard to dance to.
Well, anything's hard for me to dance to.
Well, we'll focus on it next at bat for Tony Cruz. The Wolf of Clark Street, as he has been called on Twitter in certain places.
The Wolf has a 3-game hitting streak.
And he's done a solid job. Cardinals certainly miss Yadier Molina, but he's done a nice job. Cruz at 224.
Big crowd, and there's a little buzz in this through the stadium.
I think the home runs have been a bit of an excitement here. Not many, as we've mentioned, all season long, but the Cardinals starting to swing with a little more authority. The Holiday home run last night was nearly 440 feet. And long runs from Wong and Peralta already. And a 2-out walk, a rare walk for Kyle Loesch, who walks just 1.7 batters per 9 innings, 5th best in the National League.
And really, to think about it, to walk an 8th place hitter and deny yourself an easy first out in your next frame. You know, he doesn't let those opportunities get away from him. We aren't used to seeing 2 home runs in the first 2 innings against him either.
But that's what happened. Masterson, 6'6", 250. We'll see what kind of swing Masterson has, but not yet as he takes strike 1. Just 3 for 22 in his career. 7th season in the big league.
And 1 sack this year, 2 sacks in his career.
And he fouls that one off his foot, 0-2. So difficult for an American League pitcher. Mike Matheny was asked about that. You got 2 American League pitchers going this weekend who barely get a chance to swing the bat, guys that have played their whole career there. And he understood and agreed that that's a bit of a disadvantage, trying to ramp them up as quickly as possible. The 0-2 is hit to the right side, base hit, Masterson. How about that? Welcome to the National League, Justin Masterson.
And that's his first major league hit, so that will end up on, he had 3 previous to this year. Well, he doesn't need that trophy.
All smiles, though, isn't he? How about the reaction? Did he really? Yes, he did.
Isn't it nice just to see Waka in uniform? Big day for Waka.
I like
Ellis is excited.
Ellis was making fun of him for running through the bag instead of rounding it. You saw Ellis in the background. He was laughing because Masterson on a base hit to right ran right through the bag instead of doing what most hitters normally do, but he's not used to it.
Waka will have a big exam on Monday. They'll do another scan, and he was telling our Jimmy Hayes how well he feels right now, so he's anticipating getting a clean bill of health. And the Cardinals still feel that he can get himself ready and be pitching, maybe even starting in September.
The 0-1 to Carpenter. RBI opportunity for Matt with 2 outs. He's been so good at that. Loesch backs him off the plate, 1-1.
And 3 RBIs in last night's ball game. Total up to 41. That's second best among National League leadoff men.
Cardinals looking to add to their lead. Loesch has the sign, the 1-1. Carpenter can be such a frustrating hitter because he has such a good eye. Pitchers try to get him to chase that pitch off the zone, and he very rarely does that. And again,
example. Yeah.
Think about the strikeouts that Carpenter's had, and I would say too many for a leadoff hitter, but a majority of them, it appears to me, have been caught looking.
And I think most of them were early in the season where he just really wasn't on page with the umpire. You know, as you said, he got such a good batting eye, but it just wasn't in sync with that day's home plate umpire.
Hitters count here. And it's ball 4 and 2 walks in the inning for Kyle Loesch, and he is asking for trouble here. Bases loaded for Colton Wong. Cruz, the runner at third. Masterson, the pitcher, who had his first National League base hit and a second walk in the inning to Matt Carpenter, has loaded him up for Colton Wong.
Masterson came off the second base bag, talked to our crew chief, Jerry Davis, and then Oquendo said, "I'm over here. Don't worry about the umpires."
Fox Sports Midwest and the Cardinals bring you Mizzou night at the ballpark. August 15th, the Cardinals battle the Padres that night. Buy your Mizzou theme tickets at cardinals.com/theme and get a limited edition Cardinals hat. Get your tickets, wear your black and gold, and we'll see you at Mizzou night on August 15th. Long is ready, and the first pitch, a breaking ball this time for a strike at 74. Wong homered to deep right center field in the first inning. Almost a circus catch by Gomez. That would have been something.
Yes.
So athletic.
Kyle Loesch now ahead 0-2. And Colton Wong may be taken to school, taken to the shed. I mentioned earlier, a lot of the Cardinals want to swing early because if he gets 2 strikes on you, he has so many different ways to put you away.
The 0-2 is a line drive right field, base hit for Wong. 1 run scores. Here comes Masterson, and the throw is to third. The Cardinals tack on 2 more thanks to Colton Wong. And all of this with 2 outs.
Well, obviously, this isn't the Kyle Loesch that we're accustomed to seeing, because when Kyle is healthy, he's as good as there is in the National League. But this is another ball that's elevated. It's a hanger, and Colton just hits it out there. Now, Braun, do you think he forgets that it's Masterson, the pitcher, running?
I do.
And he goes to third instead of coming on home. Because of the sun field, and it's not too bad out there in right field now. Easy for us to say here. But it looked like he had never, he laid back on the ball to begin with, Ryan Braun. And then by throwing to third, it was wide. But he should have thrown home and get the pitcher running.
Checking the sun again, even with the glasses down. I thought he had a hard time seeing the baseball here last night and didn't have the sun issues. He had a couple of bad jumps, I thought, on balls hit into right center field.
Remember, prior to this season, he had never played right field except for in the All-Star game right here at Busch Stadium.
So another good at-bat with the bases loaded for Colton Wong, and Matt Holliday ahead in the count 2-1, a chance for more.
Holliday's hit 24 home runs against Milwaukee. That's the most he's against any team for Matt.
Line drive, base hit to left for Holliday. That'll score Carpenter. The throw to third, not in time, and gets away. And here comes Wong. And he scores. And the Cardinals with a big inning here in the second.
Colton Wong doesn't know that Parra is a 2-time Gold Glove winner. He picked his pocket. Parra not accustomed to having somebody run on him, and look at how wild this throw. He kind of panicked when Colton Wong went to third. He rears back and throws it, and it is so wide that Colton Wong can not only be safe at third, but comes on home, and Holliday goes to second, gets himself in scoring position.
That throw was right on time if he was throwing it to Jose Oquendo. Jose had to get out of the way of the ball, and Ramirez couldn't come up with it.
Oquendo and Colton Wong aren't much difference in size.
Got confused, perhaps. Now Matt Adams, line drive to right. Braun catches that one. Battling the sun again. And a big inning for St. Louis. 5 runs in the inning. Colton Wong already has 3 RBIs. A home run in the first. A 2-run single in the second. Is brought to you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer for 75 years. The Gateway Arch, backdrop to a very good start for the St. Louis Cardinals here in Game 2. Colton Long having a big night already. 3 RBIs, 2 hits through the game's first 2 innings, and a 6-1 Cardinal lead behind Justin Masterson, who misses low and away to Kyle Loesch. That's a nice present to give a new teammate, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure Kyle's kicking himself. The walk to Tony Cruz, the 8th place hitter, then the base hit to Masterson, and then things started snowballing on him. But you know, he can shut you down from this point too.
Nasty sinker there. He'll have Loesch at top of the order, Carlos Gomez and Gerardo Parra. This is with the 1-2 pitch, and Masterson, as Mike Shannon said in the pregame, likes to work quickly, as sinker ballers normally do, and he gets a little ground ball foul off the bat of Loesch, who swings the bat decently.
Well, you're going to be a sinker baller. You know, one thing you have to do is become a very good fielder yourself, but you'll have all your infielders be on their toes. So it really is important. If you're throwing strikes, then the game just flows at such a nice pace.
We mentioned the walks that Masterson has had in the American League, second in the league in that department, and it's the kind of game here where you don't want any more. He's already walked 2, and there's a nice slider, and that catches Kyle Loesch looking. He doesn't like the call, but he is strikeout victim number 2 for Masterson. Carlos Gomez bounced out in the first inning. And you cannot find somebody, Al, and I may challenge you with this one, and you may take a swing at me. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. As Gomez took a swing at that delivery. You cannot find a person related to the Milwaukee Brewers that does not say that Carlos Gomez is an outstanding teammate and a great guy. Every one of them. They sing his praises for what he does for this team.
No, I understand that, and very popular with the fan base.
Yes.
I think their energy company up there does a kind of a who's the most energetic player, and he wins this one hands down. It's a typical guy that, you know, if you're watching from afar, you're a visiting team, you don't like some of his antics, but they say he's genuine, and it's just the way he plays the game.
Very talented in so many ways. Outstanding defensive player. I think he's got a good arm to go along with that, but runs well, has power. He does strike out quite a bit in that leadoff spot. In fact, the Brewers have 3 players with over 100 strikeouts. Davis, who's not in the lineup today, nor Mark Reynolds, both of them sitting, and Gomez all over 100 strikeouts. And you can add one more to Carlos Gomez, as Masterson has come out after the 5-run inning and picked up a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, good slider right there, and you can see that Gomez has never heard the theory of with 2 strikes choke up, try and punch the ball and put it in play. He just swings from his rear end on every pitch. Half the time when he swings and misses, his helmet flies off.
Right.
Kind of hard to say you're having your head still.
Can't argue with the results. 53 RBIs for Gomez.
And last year, you know, he had 24 home runs and 73 RBIs. This year he's got 15 home runs, so you can live with the high strikeout total.
Bunt attempt by Parra.
Was charged with the error on that throw. allowing Colton Wong to score and Holiday to get into scoring position.
Ground ball right side, backhanded by Adams. He takes it himself. Nice play by the big guy. Made that look easy. Sinker ballers love that. When your defenders are quick with good hands, it helps when they take it themselves. Tonight, and Justin Masterson, 6-1 Redbirds, bottom of the third inning. And not only did Masterson change uniforms, he also changed defenses behind him.
And it's going to make a real difference. You can see playing with Cleveland, they committed the most errors. The Cardinals, 7th fewest. You look at the ultimate zone rating, not good for Cleveland, very good for the Cardinals. And then the Cardinals are the best in defensive run saved. So Justin's already seen some nice plays behind him.
Little flare to right. This might drop. No, the second baseman, Jeanette, makes the play, and I'm sure Masterson has already noticed what you said, the defense behind him, and that can make a big difference for a sinker ball pitcher.
Oh, absolutely. Just mentally, go out there and if you execute a pitch in the bottom of strike zone, they put it in play, and it's going to be a ground ball out. So I think right now Masterson and Lackey are liking much better what they're seeing from their new teammates than last night's performance.
Shift on for Oscar Taveras. Play him to pull extremely on the infield, straight up on the outfield, and Taveras trying to get untracked a bit. Has a couple of home runs and 8 RBIs, hitting just .214. But he's going to get opportunity in the next couple of months. No question about that. 2-1.
Last 10 games, he's 7 for 25 with a home run and 3 RBIs. But it was a tough situation for Mike Matheny trying to fit the
line drive to left. Parra makes the play.
Trying to fit that right field puzzle with Alan Craig and Oscar Taveras. So we hate to see Alan Craig leave, but it does free up time for the Cardinals to really get a good read and find out what they have in Oscar Taveras.
Mike Matheny had a lot to say today, and he was particularly talking about the challenge play yesterday that many thought didn't go the Cardinals' way, and it felt like the review should have been overturned, and it was really a big play in the game that came at second base. And Mike said many things to our umpire Will Little. He got tossed, He said a few more things in his post-game sound, and Mike said he got a number of phone calls today from people in suits of important positions in Major League Baseball that told him he might want to be careful what he says. I understood the frustration. He's got to feel a little bit better so far today. His Redbirds lead Kyle Loesch, Milwaukee, 6-1. The Cardinal debut of Justin Masterson, and what have you seen from him, Al, so far?
Well, you can see he's noted for that power sinker. He gets the ball way out to the side, but he gets on top of it. So they're pounding it in the ground. When you pound in the ground and you got a good defense behind you, you know, it's going to have very good results. Once again, you pound it in the ground, and your infielders love it. They're all active, and they're ready for hard-hit balls that maybe a little bit wide, and they can make that zone rating look all the better. But he felt like he had a little mechanical flaw, and it might have started with the knee injury. And right now you can see when he gets on top, he really gets the arm extended away from his body, but then he comes over the top to finish it off.
First ball hitting is Ryan Braun, who laces that one up the middle. He got that pitch up a bit. Leadoff single for Braun, and Milwaukee brings in Aramis Ramirez. RBI Baseball is back with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the retro two-button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device. Braun runs well. Watch out. Up the middle, base hit past the diving Colton Wong, and also right past the Cardinal pitcher, Masterson.
That's a big target. How did that ball miss it?
I'm glad it did.
I am too. And Tony Cruz, after base hits it, start the inning. Now, with the fact that Masterson made 2 rehab starts, but was on the disabled list for nearly a month, you know, he really didn't go deep into ball games. And, you know, I would think, you know, that it shouldn't be a problem right now. I wouldn't think he'll go deep into the game, but you would expect him to go at least 5, possibly 6.
Yeah, Mike Matheny was not giving much information about just what the pitch count might be for Masterson today, but I think you're right, Al. I think if he goes 5 innings, that may be enough. Masterson again doing what we talked about early, where he keeps his eye on the runner at second base while he's coming home, which is an interesting delivery. He gets an awful lot of ground outs.
He had 17 in the American League. He's got 1 here tonight. So when you give up some hits or walks, you have your you have the way to get out of the inning without scoring.
Masterson wearing number 63. By the way, John Lackey, who will start tomorrow, was given 41 by Pat Neshek.
But Pat is hoping for some retribution.
Yeah, a little payback.
And
it's only fair. Neshek, by the way, number 37 now.
Yeah, Neshek, an avid baseball card collector, said maybe he'll give me some special series cards. And Lackey said, no, I think we'll get something better than that.
Ground ball back to Masterson. Bobbles it to second for one. On to first. Not in time. The bobble cost him. It was exactly what he wanted. Close play at first base, but not in time.
Just does beat it out. And Carpenter was talking to Masterson there to see if Mike Matheny wanted to challenge that, but I think it was clearly that he was safe. And you're right, the bobble cost the double play, but you still have an opportunity to do it again. But against a hitter that he walked the first time, he's still 6 for 11 with 3 walks against Masterson, Lyle Overbay.
Ball 1 to Overbay. Needs another ground ball here. And you bring up an interesting idea, Al. Instead of having the manager go out there and stand next to an umpire, why don't you just have a player do it? I mean, they're not really having a conversation after all. Can't the manager just be on the phone himself and cut out the middleman? Why don't you send that over to Bud Selig and see how that works?
Bud's on my speed dial, but he's not taking my call.
Just tell him you have a good idea.
Maybe I don't think it's such a good idea.
Tell him I have a good idea, and you don't have to agree with it. You know, managers are so uncomfortable with that moment where they just go out there and stand.
Well, we were talking a little bit about it before the game, that takes out one of the best things for fans. You know, the manager umpire argument. There's been some classic ones, and
Mike Matheny was saying, Al, before the game, that when we go out and talk to the umpire in that role, it's just, hey, how you doing? You know, he said, I feel like I should be bringing him tea. That's what he said. It's such a cordial kind of meeting. The 3-0 pitch. That's inside, so a walk. Just what Masterson is trying to avoid. He walks Overbay, and now he's going to have to contend with Scooter Gennett with the bases loaded.
Well, like I said, Overbay's been a nemesis for Masterson, so if he can do what he did the first time up with Gennett, get a ground ball double play, the strategy will work, but it's all predicated on getting the next hitter out.
Hard hit center field. On the move is Borges, and he's not going to get it. In the gap and to the wall. 2 runs will score on the double by Scooter Gennett, and it's now 6-3 is St. Louis.
Scooter Gennett is back to his tricks against Cardinals. Came in bang 384 against them. That's his 6th double. He's also got a triple facing Cardinal pitching. And talk about sinkers, you know, but it stays up. Hitters will all say they try to get a sinker baller to get the ball up. And when that ball stays belt high, it's going to be hit pretty well. Plugs the gap out in left center, and 2 runs come across before Borges can flag it down and get it back in.
It's funny when you talk about a ball up. I think we both agree, Al, that a lot of times thigh high is up for a sinker ball pitcher.
And remember when I played, the ball up was letter high.
Right.
Strike zone has shrunken.
Gene Segura Takes a slider, ball one. First base open. Kyle Lohse on deck. Are you careful here?
I think you just got to still pound that strike zone. You only got one out. It's not like you had two. And now that you've fallen behind the count, you don't want to groove one. A walk would be better than
most situations. You may feel differently, but most situations I hate to walk guys intentionally when you have the lead.
I hate to walk them, period.
You get the sense that may be what's going on here. A little bit of a intentional, unintentional walk.
And my Derek Lilliquist went out there and may have said, hey, we don't mind if you walk this guy. Bring up Lohse.
Segura, very aware of what's going on, swings at the 3-0 pitch. He's a guy that does not strike out very much. They've got a team that strikes out a lot, but Segura and Lucroy are very, very good two-strike hitters, and they put the ball in play. The 3-1. Grounded to the left side. This is going to score a run. Carpenter throws out Segura. Overbay scores, and it's 6-4 St. Louis. Turn your change into chicken. Right now at McDonald's, Chicken McNuggets are just 25 cents each, available in 4, 6, 10, or 20 pieces. Limited time only. Kyle Lohse takes strike one. He was a strikeout victim caught looking in the third inning. Masterson had his best inning there. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out. (6-4) St. Louis. A little bit more offense in the early going than we may have predicted.
And Danny Martinez came up before the game, and we thought this would be a pretty good pitching duel, and yet he said that the games between the Cardinals and Brewers this season, a lot of runs have been scored in every game.
Very different than the last time these two hooked up on the 9th of June. We mentioned that earlier. Both of them pitched deep into the game and pitched well. But the games you're talking about, Al, high-scoring contests this year between these two clubs.
And it looks like this one's going to be right there with it.
It already is. The 0-2. Lohse hangs tough.
By the way, Lohse made his major league debut on June 22nd, 2001. And his catcher, A.J. Przinsky.
How about that? There's that slider again, and Lohse is caught looking again. So Masterson gets through the fourth, but the Brewers pick up 3, trail by 2. Chris Carpenter. 25,000 fans, 16 and older, will take home a Chris Carpenter bobblehead featuring his 2 World Championship trophies. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Great seasons, 2006, 2011. And what a game we've got brewing here. 6-4 St. Louis, and we are just in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And Ricky, when you think about the Cardinals' 5-run second inning, there were 2 outs. Tony Cruz walked, and with 2 outs and the pitcher coming up, I think that walk that Kyle Loesch gave away, I think really kind of was his biggest mistake of this game, more so than even the 2 home runs.
I agree. Cruz leads it off for St. Louis. Hard hit to left. I don't think he can get that one, and he does it over the head of the great fielder in left, Parra. That was a rocket off the bat of Tony Cruz, leadoff double, and the Cardinals threatening for more here in the bottom of the 4th.
Tony Cruz is a good little hitter. Converted third baseman, now hitting 4 straight games. He's 4 for 10. He got a walk and a base hit in this one, but many times I know Mike Matheny would like to use Tony Cruz as a pinch hitter, but is reluctant being his backup catcher. But I think with Tony getting more playing time, you're going to see his offensive numbers will be pretty good.
You mentioned a couple of career sacrifices for Justin Masterson. Brewers expecting the bunt, and he lays it down perfectly to third. Good jump by Tony Cruz off of second base, and Bat Masterson does his job again.
How old would you have to be to understand that nickname?
Older than most of our audience. How about the form here, though?
Yeah, good form. You know, the barrel higher, you got the knees flexed, let the ball come to you, catch it with the bat, and gets that sack down. And Tony gets over to third base with just 1 out. So many more ways to score from third. And Carpenter, good RBI man, the infield in.
First pitch to Matt Carpenter, breaking ball for a strike. Loesch using that breaker early in the count. I think he's adjusting to the fact that the Cardinals were swinging early in counts in the first couple of innings, so he's gone to the breaking ball. Carpenter has flown out to left, walked and scored in the second.
Best pitch in baseball, first pitch strike. And when you can do it with a slow breaking ball.
Fly ball. Is it deep enough? Tagging is Cruz. Parra has a strong arm. Throw to the plate. He is safe at the plate. Outstanding slide by Tony Cruz. Sacrifice fly. Matt Carpenter, 7-4, St. Louis.
Ricky, is this a byproduct? Is Tony Cruz save a byproduct of the new rules for catchers having to give a lane? Instead of laying back, you see he comes in a little bit and tries to get him as he goes by. He misses the tag. And from umpire, hard to see if he missed it there, and hurry up and throw a pitch.
Well, there's no argument by the Brewers that seems so close. We're actually checking to see whether or not the runner Cruz left early from third base. So on the attempted appeal there at third, they don't get that call. So Loesch does throw another pitch, and we won't worry about whether he was tagged out.
Well, I guess Ron Renicky and the Brewers bench from the third base dugout could see whether that contact was made on the tag. I was a little surprised that they didn't question him, because the umpire, he can't really see if the tag was applied in the back where he was positioned.
2-0 to Wong, who's had a very good game so far. Now 3-0. Wong homered in the first, 2-out base hit, scoring 2 in the second.
And the Brewers starters had a run of 9 straight ball games of allowing 2 runs or less. That ends here tonight.
Good swing by Wong there. Not your classic Kyle Loesch game here tonight. And you know there has to be a part of him that, of course, he's played on a lot of teams in baseball, but having been a Cardinal recently, you know he wanted to do well today, but it just has not been his night. It looks like he's going to get Wong here, though. Jeanette has it. Cardinals pick up another run thanks to the sacrifice fly and the good umpiring by Matt Carpenter. And Bob Forrest used to say, some guys get all the runs. That's Justin Masterson here in his first start as a Cardinal. 7 runs of support, but that's the most he's gotten in his last 46 starts.
You don't think he's kind of excited about being with this ball club?
Welcome to St. Louis. Ground ball left side. This is going to be tough. And no chance to throw out Carlos Gomez. That was a hit the minute he made contact. FoxSportsMidwest.com is your home for Cardinals coverage all season long. Log on for game previews, recaps, videos, features, and the latest analysis from Stan McNeil. It's all on FoxSportsMidwest.com. Stan busy trying to figure out what's going on here in Game 2. 11 runs already. A lot to write about. .20 for 24 in stolen bases is Carlos Gomez, so you have to be careful with him.
It's on first base coach is Garth Orge, brother of Dane Orge, played with the Cardinals.
Longtime big leaguer himself. Snap throw. And their coaching staff includes Eddie Cedar, the third base coach. They have Johnny Narin as their hitting coach, and his brother, the bench coach for Milwaukee, Jerry Narin. Parra walked and scored, stole a base in the first and bounced out in the third. There goes the runner, a big jump, and Cruz, good throw, but no chance to get Carlos Gomez. Second stolen base of the night for Milwaukee.
Masterson is very slow to the plate. You know, most big guys, tall guys, are not quick to the plate, but he has a slow, methodical motion, and that's something he's going to have to watch out. Ground ball specialists, so they're going to want to run anyway, and you steal those bases off the pitcher.
Bunt attempt back to Masterson. He's got it and throws out Parra for out number one. And Gomez wanted to make sure the Cardinals were paying attention to him. Last night he almost left the base pass on his own with less than 3 outs. He thought there was a third out, started to walk back to the dugout and tried to sneak home there.
Always going to be moving, bunt down, so he knows he can glide over to third. He's at third with just 1 out, so a good scoring opportunity for Milwaukee and Ryan Braun.
Braun 1 for 2. Jammed a bit there, 0-1. Al, I mentioned Jerry Narin. 35 years ago today, Thurman Munson died in a airplane crash. He was actually practicing on a plane that he had just purchased and really sent shocks throughout the baseball world. And Jerry Narin had to catch for the Yankees.
Yeah, he was the backup catcher, and Munson was the captain. Very emotional at that time. He was practicing touch and go landings, and a lot of people said in a citation, Cessna citation in a plane, that he really shouldn't have been. He had a instructor with him, but he really wasn't quite. He had a pilot license, but wasn't qualified for something that heavy.
Ground ball to third, play at the plate, and they're going to get the out, but Gomez is going to score anyway. That's how good a runner Carlos Gomez is. Matt Carpenter had to decide, do I run him back or do I throw out the runner? And Cardinals just barely get Braun at first base. Good base running here.
Absolutely. See, he holds him. Carpenter thinks he looks him back and then almost waits too long and then has to airmail it. Goes up as Patch Adams, but comes down on the bag. So manufacturing a run, and we got a 2-run game now.
Almost an odd little moment there. You saw Carpenter kind of looking him back, but Gomez realizing you can look all you want, but yeah. I don't have to go back. There's nobody at third base to get me.
You know, and just by freezing, but he also has the speed that once Carpenter threw it to first base, he'd come home easily.
Impressive base running by Carlos Gomez. Tightens the game a little more. 7-5, St. Louis. Ramirez to right. Did the Cardinals get him out? No, they didn't. Fair ball, and it bounces into the stands on the dive from Oscar Taveras.
Yeah, the Cardinals get a break right there with the fan interference.
Ramirez is standing at third right now. And maybe they didn't call fan interference.
He dives for it, but you see it's fair ball. And then I thought with the fans touching the ball that you would have got the fan interference. How can you say that that's not fan interference? And Mike Matheny is going to question it.
He's asking the same question. There's no way that should be a triple.
Well, I mean, it may be saying in the umpire's judgment he would have gotten a triple, but usually I've never heard it. Seems like whenever it's a ground rule double, it's always going to be 2 bases.
Mike Matheny blew a gasket last night, and I don't believe I've ever seen that play where they go ahead and award him a triple.
And that's what basically they did, and satisfied Mike with the answer. And I was to say that it was be a break for the Cardinals with the fan interference,
right? Because
that's where he should have been, is at third base.
I do not believe I've ever seen.
I don't think I have either, but I understand what they're saying.
The Cardinals hoping it's a moot point with Lucroy at the plate with 2 outs. So it goes as a triple for Aramis Ramirez. And they haven't gotten him out tonight.
Ramirez last night missed the triple for the cycle.
Hard hit to Peralta, but he's got it. And he throws out Lucroy. One more run for the Brewers here in the 5th. Wildwood in St. Louis, 7-5, middle 5. The 5th, Aramis Ramirez, his 3rd hit of the night came in the 5th inning. Is it a double or is it a triple, Al?
Well, we're going to sync it up and watch. He doesn't get out of the box very well and really not running hard, but Taveras running hard, and you can see dives for the ball. It is fair. It goes over towards the stands, and this is where we thought the fan interference. But there's no Cardinal that's going to get to that ball ahead of Ramirez going over to third base. So you can see why they awarded him 3 bases. By the way, Ramirez is 6 for 8 in this series.
And you can see how excited he is about it. That's his style, isn't it?
It is. And
popped up right side. Holiday slams his bat down, and Overbase slams the ball down.
Should be the second, and it is the second error for Milwaukee tonight. Got this ball in the glove, and it pops out.
Game has an odd feel tonight, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Watch out, Kyle. Base hit up the middle, Matt Holliday. And we have seen 3 or 4 rockets up the middle. And that one came very close to Kyle Lowe.
That almost destroyed the pitcher and the second baseman. That ball was hit so hard. New life They want the ball up. He's a low ball hitter, and look at how close. It's a good thing that his follow through just carried him a little bit to the left of the mound, or we would have had a very serious injury. That ball would have been right in the back of the head.
And Holiday, of course, should be out. Overbay dropped the foul pop-up, extending his at-bat.
Cardinals need more runs in this game.
I didn't check the charts today. Do you know, are the moons aligned funny today, or the planets, Al? Do you know anything about that?
You're talking, if you want to talk about the moon, you got to talk to Shannon. Holiday, one of the hardest hitters in the game. That ball came off the bat at 106.8 miles per hour. And Ricky, they always talk about a pitcher could throw a pitch and kill somebody, but they never talk about the fact that the ball comes off the bat much harder, and you're moving. You know, you're a moving target, and really have sometimes a hard time getting the glove up to defend yourself.
2-1 the count to Adams. And I guess you're like me, Al. I almost feel that in the pit of my stomach anytime I see that, whether it's a Cardinal game or you're watching a game on TV, because you know just how dangerous that could be and how little time a pitcher has to react. The 3-1 is ball 4, and a couple of base runners for the Cardinals here in the 5th inning, and this is not Loesch's night. Some stretching going on in the Brewers bullpen. Celebrate one of St. Louis's and Hollywood's favorite sons, John Hamm. John Hamm night, Monday, August 18th at Busch Stadium. Fans who purchase this special themed ticket take home their very own exclusive John Hamm bobblehead. John will also be on hand for a special pregame ceremony and first pitch. Get your theme tickets now at cardinals.com/theme. Johnny Peralta homered his first plate appearance. It takes ball 1 from Loesch.
Activity now in the bullpen.
The 1-0. 2-0. Brandon Kinsler.
I think he was the birthday boy yesterday. I think.
Hitters count for Johnny Peralta, sitting on 15 home runs and 45 RBIs. Matt Holliday leads the team with 57 RBIs. And the 2-0. Talking about John Hamm throwing out the first pitch. I don't know if you happened to see Marcus Luttrell throw out his first pitch today.
I did.
But it was about 92 on a corner.
Had a little mustard on it.
Sure did. Over the top, good smooth delivery.
Navy SEAL. Looks like he's more than just an athlete.
The 2-1. Hit hard to left, base hit. Holiday rounds third. Oquendo holds him there, respecting the arm of Parra, who one-hops the catcher LaCroix.
Marcus may get in this game tonight.
He might. He'll be a part of the Christian Day ceremony after the game, the 24th annual Christian Day at the ballpark. Cardinal players will be there as well. And Luttrell, of course, the best-selling author. The Lone Survivor book turned into a film with Mark Wahlberg. And if you've not seen that,
and he visited both clubhouses before the game.
And he'll be speaking right after the game. And Oscar Taveras will want his bat to speak right now. Bases loaded, nobody out. Loesch stays in. Off-speed pitch high, and you could just tell Loesch is a little lost right now. Not sure which way to go about getting ahead of these Cardinals. It's just a struggle. He's given up 8 hits. 2 errors have not helped him with his defense. 2-0.
Kyle's allowed 8 hits. He's walked 3, 2 home runs.
That's a month's worth of walks for Kyle Lohse.
Yeah.
The 2-0. Late swing by Taveras and a long one. A little bit of what you were talking about yesterday with Taveras. He has I would say he has a quick bat, but he just has a long swing.
He has a long swing, and I think because of the long follow through, it makes it look much longer.
Agreed. Not really a home run hitter, more of a gap line drive doubles hitter. What will he do here? The 2-1 pitch, late swing and a foul.
And there's been a lot of hitters that maybe don't have lightning quick speed, but they learn to compensate, learn to, when fastball counts, and expect the fastball to speed it up a little bit. But I also think he's a pretty good young breaking ball hitter. Been an awful lot of people, baseball people, that rank him awfully high. So
they all can't be wrong.
That's right. Right now, I want to see him be the best hitter he can be.
The 2-2 from Lohse. Hard hit up the middle, base hit Taveras. Holiday scores. Here comes Matt Adams. He'll score, and into second base with a double is Oscar Taveras. The Cardinals are swinging it tonight.
Off-speed pitch, and it was up. And that'll be it for Kyle Lohse. 9 runs, but one of them not earned. Ball up out over the plate, and he takes it back up the middle.
There's that follow through, Al, you're talking about.
See, it's a breaking ball, but just doesn't. He just kind of sat up there and just didn't do much.
Good finish on that swing for Taveras. Kyle Lohse finished. Masterson getting a lot of support here tonight. The Cardinals lead. A bullet up the middle. A double off of Kyle Lohse chasing him. And here's the swing, Al, on our Fox Phantom cam.
Look how still the head is. He's got the long swing. Of course, it's going to making connection on a pitch that's outside, even outside of the strike zone. And then you watch the follow through. How with the stiff arms and look that big backswing, it makes it look like such a long swing. Takes a while to get out of the batter's box, but that's a nice double, 2 RBIs. His RBI totals up to 10 now, and the Cardinals have the 9-5 lead. Randy Kinsler appearing for the 41st time. He has 1 win, 3 losses, 3.44 ERA. Opponents are batting .301 against him. And Kinsler hasn't pitched since last Sunday.
Infield in. The Brewers cannot allow any more Cardinal runs. They've already reached the 9 level. 9-5 St. Louis. Borges at the plate. First pitch grounded left side. And they're going on contact, which means Peralta in a rundown. They're just going to run him back to second base. And no, they're not. Now they're going to run him back to home as they were trying to get as many outs as possible there at third base. A little confusion defensively for Milwaukee. And Borges makes it down to second base.
Stayed in the rundown long enough for both runners to advance, so.
Here's your song, Al.
Yes, I know. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Gotta love it. It's from the Wolf of Wall Street. Matthew McConaughey beating his chest.
Christian Family Day, and I know you have a great speaker today, but that speech that Matthew McConaughey made in that movie was very inspirational too.
I would say so.
I think we'll get a little different variety tonight.
I would say so.
You hope so.
Peralta and Taveras and Borges the runners. Good speed at second base for the Cardinals. Infield still in for Cruz with first base open. And a swing and a miss. And you wonder if Masterson is up there to hit or not. He's gone 5 innings. We're not sure how far and how deep he's going to go into the game.
Oh, I haven't seen anybody warming up.
Just
the Cardinals.
82 pitches.
No, I guess they will let him go another inning, but keep probably a close eye on it.
Ground ball left side, and they're going to come home again. And this time they throw out Taveras, who does not get in a rundown on a broken bat ground ball to the left side. What's on Tap is brought to you by Budweiser. Final game of the series, Matt Garza 7-7. John Lackey, the other new Cardinals starting pitcher, 11-7 for the Red Sox. And we hope you'll be with us on Fox Sports Midwest. Justin Masterson does indeed bat for himself, with runners at first and third. 2 outs and a swing and a miss. We've seen Kinsler before. He can be very tough.
I mentioned he hadn't pitched since last Sunday. He retired all 5 batters in that game. He's have a stint on the disabled list in the middle of April, right rotator cuff strain. That looked like it's hurting him now.
Good movement, good velocity. His job to try to keep the Brewers close. $15 hits already. Cardinals batting in the 5th. There goes Cruz on a grounder foul. And why not? Brewers have 6 of those hits. They've scored 5 runs. Cardinals 9 runs on 9 hits.
Remember, 3 walks, 2 errors.
Oh, 0-2 to Masterson. Kinsler delivers home and strikes him out. Line drives in a couple of languages here in the Cardinals' 5th. A Holiday line drive and a Taveras linea. 2 more Cardinal runs. They lead it 9-5. Have great seats to the game. Head to StubHub, where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Cardinals tickets. Plus, with all-in pricing, there are no surprise fees at checkout. StubHub, your ticket to upgrades and more. Big offensive night so far, 9-5 Cardinals. Masterson back out for the 6th. Kyle Loesch in 4+ innings allowed 9 runs on 9 hits, walked 3 and struck out 2. And Loesch threw just 76 pitches, but the Cardinals were just right on him tonight.
Right. The difference when the game makes. Previous 9 games, Cardinals had 11 earned runs. Tonight they got 7.
Two unearned runs behind Kyle Loesch. 9-5 our score. Masterson has walked 3 and struck out 4 in his Cardinal debut.
I said don't be too judgmental of this start for him, because coming off the disabled list, been nearly a month since he had pitched at the big league level. Really only had 2 rehab starts too. It wasn't particularly good. So mixed results here today, but you like the fact that he's in line for the victory.
Nice slider there, and he's thrown some good breaking pitches.
Yes, he has. I mean, you can see there's a lot to work with. See a good breaking ball there.
Ended up middle, Al, but it had good late movement to it. The 1-2 is grounded inside the bag. There's the smooth hands of Adams. Flipping to Masterson, and I've got to believe that Matt Adams has as good a hands as anybody at first base. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best first baseman in the National League, but he has very good hands.
He does have the good hands. They're soft, and so he doesn't mess any. And he runs better than you think, so he can cover more ground. You have to be very pleased with what he does, what he brings to the table, defensively. And offensively, he's been one of the best in the league all season long.
Strike on the outside corner to Scooter Gennett, and I don't know, Al, I guess I believe that it's a 4-run lead, but it sure doesn't feel like it.
Oh.
You have that same sense?
Yeah, the scoreboard says it, but one of these games where you're glad your team has the last at bat.
Jam shot the other way, base hit for Gennett. That's his 2nd hit of the night. And the Brewers 7th. As we promised earlier, Al, we promised it early in the game to have the AT fan photo. Well, we're delivering. Tweet your photos to STL Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. This is brought to you by AT&T. There's another shot we'll give you. Gotta love that one.
As much as Dan McLaughlin loves the AT&T photo, I'm surprised he's never sent one in.
Maybe they're just not choosing it. Ground ball to second, to Peralta on to first, and they double up Segura. Nicely done. Cardinal fans appreciate it. 9-5 St. Louis. For Milwaukee, Marco Estrada, who had been a starter for this team, appearance number 22 for him, ERA just under 5. 27 home runs allowed by Estrada. He has moved to the bullpen, and he'll have the 6th inning, and we'll give you the in-game box score for the Cardinals, and it's a good one. A lot of hits, home runs by Wong and Peralta, and contributions really up and down the lineup, Al.
And that's what you want to see is everybody in there. Borges will hopefully get involved there. How about the Masterson? He's gone 6 innings right now, and he's induced a couple ground ball double plays. I think he's in love with his defense, as he and Matt Adams have worked very well together.
Matt Adams, by the way, has had 10 defensive runs saved, which is the best among Major League Baseball's first baseman, and his UZR that you mentioned earlier, the ultimate zone rating, is the 2nd best among first basemen. So starting to get a little bit of notoriety and attention there.
And it looks like Masterson's day is through, and I'm sure he's going, can I expect 9 runs every time I pitch, and this good defense on top of it?
Nice to see a relaxed Mike Matheny after yesterday, too.
Absolutely.
Huh?
And you'd have to say that John Mozeliak is smiling, is coming off the disabled list. That's Justin Masterson is in line for the victory, and mechanically it looked like one time Derek Lilliquist was talking to him about his front shoulder flying open a little bit, and that would create and cause the sinker not to have the bite to it. But we saw plenty of ground balls from him, and does that the rest of the way, we'll take our chances.
6 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs for Masterson, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Kevin Segras, the left-hander, getting loose for St. Louis. And he'll have 9-1-2 for Milwaukee in the 7th. Estrada, strike at the knees. Estrada, not an overpowering right-hander. Has a good changeup. Again, I mentioned the home runs he's allowed. Too many mistakes.
And made 18 starts. They're playing a ballpark that is conducive to giving up home runs, but can't give up that many and expect to stay in the rotation.
Estrada in as part of a double switch. Elian Herrera has taken over at second base for Jeanette. Ground ball to Estrada. He underhands it to Overbay for out number 1. So Herrera will lead off for Milwaukee in the 7th. And the pitcher will bat in the 7th spot. Big night for Colton Wong.
Talk about a big night. He's 2 for 3, home run, first time up, and a 2-run single before popping out to second. But really the good ones, the Pete Rose, they get 3 hits the first time and they're still looking for more. Guys get 3 hits and they go, okay, I've had a good night. Everybody's going to be talking to me. But the guys that at the top of the leaderboard get real greedy, don't they?
They sure do. As they should.
Yes.
The 2-1 to Wong. Hit long and foul. You know, when you're playing a game that's judged by numbers and by performance as directly as this game is, you walk around, you wear your batting average every day, you wear your earned run average, you wear your last game. It's just, I mean, it's right there on your sleeve, and job is to produce.
There you go.
And there's some more Colton Wong production. He's thinking about 2. And we're going to have another Parra throw. This time, safe again. Cardinals test Parra one more time. And Colton Wong wins that battle.
And Colton's a triple away from hitting for the cycle. 10 hitter. That ball's going to slice into the corner. And Parra, as you say, with that great arm, but Colton's got pretty good speed and bang play.
Sliding to the back part of the bag, and boy, that's a great look on how important the slide is directionally, too.
Yeah.
Sliding to the back part of the bag. If he slides to the front part,
he's out.
He's out. Good strong throw by Parra.
Sometimes when you pop up slide on a play like that, you look out.
Big swing by Holiday. Matt up to 271. 11 homers, 57 RBIs.
Career 314 hitter in the second half. Did a lot of damage in the production numbers a year ago, and that's really been his pattern throughout his career.
There goes Wong, outside pitch, and no chance. Number 16 for Colton Wong, and he stole that off of Estrada.
Usually do, and you know this game, you know, it's a 4-run lead for the Cardinals, but you were just talking about how it doesn't feel that close. And remember, 4 runs, a grand slam will tie it. So you got to keep on pressing. You got to get more. 1 out, a good opportunity for Holiday, who leads the ball club with his 57 RBIs.
The 0-2. Holiday spoils that pitch. One of the other things you like about Wong is, and there's the 27 home runs we mentioned earlier, most in the National League as an aside. But when Wong runs, he's safe most of the time.
Yeah, that see a lot of guys run and they're run into outs. What good is that?
16 for 18 stolen base attempts. And I thought Wong was a little tentative the first stint, the first few weeks of the season. Thought there were times he could have run more, and I think after his stint on the disabled list, he's come back, his shoulder's better. I think he's got a little more aggressive tendencies now on the base path. The 0-2. Holiday waves at that fastball up in his eyes. Colton Wong picked up his 3rd hit. We're going to take a closer look at that Colton Wong swing.
Watch the bat at the point of contact. The vibration. And the bat just moves.
Love that look. That was outstanding. Matt Adams. It's with 2 outs. Wong with a huge lead off of 3rd. He better be careful.
Yeah. I think Oquendo, who always is asking guys to get bigger leads, is saying, wait a minute.
Remember that aggressive thing I was talking about?
Well, you know, I totally agree with you. And I think Mike Matheny had to talk to Colton. I think also to Borges. And say, hey, there are times when I would put you on as a runner at first base, or times when you reach there and I want you to steal. But when you're playing and looking over your shoulder, if you're afraid to make a mistake, and if you're going to be aggressive on occasion, you're going to make some mistakes. But if you're afraid to make a mistake, you're going to make more of them than if you just go out there and just let your natural ability take over.
Matheny said at one point on a road trip, he said, I've got a couple of guys that have a green light. I may need to make it greener.
Yeah, because he, saying, okay, get your jump, go, and they wouldn't go. But that's when you're looking over his shoulder, you're afraid to make a mistake. Now they're starting to feel like he belongs there. And Ricky, you and I probably both experienced it as pitchers early in our career when you know there's going to be a roster move or something's going to happen. You're out there on the mound and you go, if I don't do a good job here today, I'm gone tomorrow. That's a tough way to pitch.
I felt that way for 7 years.
Just 7?
Well, we want to go back to college, minor leagues, little league. 3-2 pitch on its way to Matt Adams. 9-5 Cardinals. Estrada checks on Wong. And there's Matt Adams going the other way again.
Well, Matt really doesn't quite understand why they put the shifts on, because he said throughout the minor leagues, I was a good opposite field hitter. I would try and hit the ball where it's pitched, and you'll notice most of the time they put the shift on and they pitch you away.
Little looping liner in the center field, but it's going to be run down by Carlos Gomez. Colton Wong, his third hit. He's stranded. We've played 6. 9-5 St. Louis. him. 9 hits, 7 earned runs. And Scooter Gennett has a couple of hits for Milwaukee. Justin Masterson, his first start as a Cardinal, 6 innings, 5 earned runs. Colton Wong, one of the many offensive stars on the Cardinals side, 3 for 4, a double, a homer, and 3 RBIs. And the new Cardinal pitcher, our Chevy called to the bullpen for the 7th, is Kevin Segras.
And Kevin coming in for the 27th time. He's got 1 win, 2 losses, and 3.86 ERA. A lot of strikeouts for innings pitched, and he has pretty good command, but just 8 walks.
Now that's wonderful. Baseball, such a great family game. Packed house here again tonight. Last night, 35th sellout of the season. 45,000 plus here at the ballpark. And expecting about the same when we hear the number here tonight. Elian Herrera, we mentioned last night, had a 5-for-5 game in July against the Cardinals. He has taken over for Gennett as part of a double switch. Gennett had a couple of hits. Kind of glad to see him out of this game. Well, maybe not. Base hit to left. Leadoff single for Milwaukee here in the 7th.
You want of these games, whoever's on that mound is going to have to really pitch down and in, drop the bat head and pull it to left.
Carlos Gomez hits the ball hard in the gap. This is trouble. It's down and to the wall. Herrera is waved home. That ball was smoked by Gomez. RBI number 54 for him, and he continues to swing a hot bat.
Fastball, he turns on it, and with a little flare. Couldn't have thought that was going to go out, but his speed, he gets to second base either way. It's his 26th double. And Sam Freeman is starting to throw behind Kevin Seagrass.
Two hard hit balls off of Kevin Seagrass. Not used to seeing that.
No, and it's very uncharacteristic. If I told you.
There goes Gomez. Throw to third. Not even close.
No chance for Tony Cruz as that ball, the base was stolen off of Seagrass. Seagrass came in with batting average against by right-handers of 170. Now that makes sense, right? But does 303 sound right for left-handed batters?
Sure doesn't.
That's what it is. And he's had that shoulder strain and the forearm, and then it kind of got nerve problem. Was on the DL.
Parra doesn't catch up with that delivery, up and in.
Parra is 1 for 1 off of Seagrass. Runners in scoring position, 163.
Infield back for the Cardinals. The lead is now 3. Late swing there by Parra. Last couple of pitches, he's looked overmatched a bit by Seagrass. But he has 1 strike remaining.
Kevin is 25 now. Seagrass in last year at the big league level. Phenomenal ERA of 0.45 in 45 games.
Big pitch here, 1-2. Outside, 2-2 to Parra. Gomez is the runner at third. He doubled behind Herrera's single. Stole third. He's a handful to deal with. Seagrass needs to get Parra. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. And he threw that pitch past Gerardo Parra for out number 1.
You know, the velocity is down 2 to 3 miles an hour from a year ago. Get him to expand his zone, pitch off the plate, and Parra goes down swinging. This will be Braun's first appearance against Seagrass. He was suspended last year when Seagrass was up with the big club.
Milwaukee just not going away tonight. Cardinals extend the lead. They keep bouncing back. Ryan Braun at the plate. Braun with 14 home runs, 64 RBIs. Infield back still for the Cardinals. Inside 2-0. Well, you know how dangerous Braun is. But walking him and making Aramis Ramirez the tying run at the plate is not a good idea.
No.
The 2-0. Hit hard to short. Peralta has it, thinks about home, but instead throws out Ryan Braun, so he'll get an RBI. Gomez scores. That ball was hit so hard it made Peralta think about it just for a second. But it's now 9-7 St. Louis as the Brewers get closer still.
It's 2 RBIs tonight for Braun on groundouts.
How important was that stolen base for Carlos Gomez? Big swing by Ramirez, strike one. This team swings it.
They don't mind striking out.
Nope.
But their home run production, 110 home runs.
Trailing only the Colorado Rockies in the National League with that total. The Cardinals last in the National League in home runs, but they have 2 here tonight. Johnny Peralta and Colton Wong. The 0-2 from Segrist. It is center field, medium depth. Borges has it. Time to stretch. We need to stretch here in St. Louis. A lot of hits, a lot of runs. Peralta, Taveras, and Borges when we come back. Difference makers, Aramis Ramirez and Matt Holliday. Both swinging the bat very well. Ramirez against the Cardinals, we know how good he is. And Matt Holliday also at bats per home run. Every 16 at bats has gone deep. Both of them ranked 3rd in their career against the opponent.
Ramirez is much more of a home run hitter than Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday's a line drive hitter that hit the ball so hard some will carry out. Ramirez is 6th on the home run list for third baseman. He's at 363. And 5th place is Greg Nettles at 368.
Ramirez 3 for 4 tonight. Holiday 2 for 4. And you see the excitement on the face of Aramis Ramirez. I think he was just notified that he was the Budweiser star of the game last night, and he can hardly contain himself.
Well, think about that, and add 20 more pounds, 30 pounds to him, and when he first showed up in Pittsburgh. But he has turned into a heck of a player.
Think he'd ever get excited if he would win a hungo?
Now that would really put a charge in him. He might run down into the left field corner and click his heels like Ron Santo used to do.
Just love that look. He is relaxed, to be sure. The 2-2 to Peralta. Little liner in the left. Tough play for Parra, and he's got it. He lays out, makes a terrific catch, and proves why he's got some gold gloves in his office at home.
And ball's sinking line drive, lot topspin, and he dives for it. And you can clearly see he catches it in the glove. We've already seen his great throwing arm a couple times, good and bad. But there he makes a terrific play. 2-time Gold Glove winner, once in left, once in right.
That brings in Oscar Taveras. Another sellout here tonight at Busch Stadium, the 36th sellout of the season. 45,719. Two and 0.
Have to start catching up on these 50-50 raffles Cardinals have. Right now we could split $20,320.
Employees of the Cardinals, what do you think? Would be eligible?
Not employees.
Kind of.
I think if you win a raffle, you raffle.
All right, where do I sign up?
After they announce who wins it, I've got some raffle tickets to sell you.
Thanks. Very kind of you. Give me a special deal, won't you? Full count to Taveras. Marco Estrada in his second inning of work. Cardinal fans wanting more runs here. 3-2 late swing and a foul back. Just a 2-run game. A lot of baseball ahead here. Don't get complacent, sir. Keep cheering. The 3-2. Ball 4. Puts Taveras on base for the second time. He's now 1 for 3, doubled in the 5th inning. And it brings in Peter Borges.
His double is the difference in this game right now. Taveras' double.
There's a good shot of Chris Maloney communicating to Taveras. Overbay holding him on. The pitcher paying attention. Taveras getting his lead. The umpire prepared to make the perfect call, which is safe. That was an easy one. I could have done that.
How about getting the throw, too, with that camera?
Perfect.
See if Tom Meade can predict another one.
Okendo in the background.
Much closer.
A lot going on at the ballpark. on every pitch, every inning. Everybody's got a job to do. You think about what a runner is thinking about to get a good break, where he's looking. The runners will say different things. They watch the feet, often watch the front shoulder. Once that front foot is picked up, he's going home. Borges breaks his bat and is retired.
You mentioned watch the feet of the pitcher, and that's how you can get in trouble with that Dodger Bach move.
Wait a minute, I got to hear your favorite song first. Hold on. You're not getting with it, Al. I don't see you pounding your chest at all.
No.
So the Dodger balk move.
Yeah, you knew that one.
Oh, of course. You start to pick up that front foot.
Picked up the heel a little bit, right?
Just
then
a little bit.
Turn
and then you turn and throw to first base, and you hope the umpire doesn't see it.
See the balk. They used to teach that, and were extremely effective with it too, weren't they?
Saw Danny Cox do that quite a bit, and he's at the ballpark tonight. At least he was early on. I saw Danny, who has a terrific radio show here in town, and was such a gutty pitcher. I mean, he was a guy you'd give the ball to and say, go get him. Base hit to right for Tony Cruz. Well hit. Taveras will stop at second. So a couple of hits for Cruz. He's also reached via the walk.
And now the
nice
scout.
night for him.
That's right. Told you he can hit a little bit. And you see that good concentration, the ball up and away, and he just took that pitch, rifled it to the opposite field, and now Descalzo will pinch hit. Nishak will be the next pitcher.
Daniel 6 for 26 as a pinch hitter.
Really, his at-bats have been cut way down.
They have.
Perfect teammate, always going to be ready, whether it's defense or offense, and he's been the Cardinals' best pinch hitter.
The signing of Mark Ellis really cut into his at-bats, because with Colton Wong kind of in and out, Ellis was used as an everyday starter. He's done that throughout his career, and then when Wong came back, now you're trying to find at-bats for Ellis and Wong both, and
right.
Peralta and Carpenter are been healthy and steady all season long, so no at-bats or few at-bats for Descalzo.
Descalzo
Painted there.
He's got a team-high 6 pinch hits, and 3 of those 6 are doubles. Good numbers against Estrada, 4 for 10.
Taveras and Cruz, the runners. Descalzo strikes out, and the Cardinals are retired in the 7th. Pat Neshek. Let's see how he does with that new number. Paris. He's in our studio, Ballpark Village, with this Bomberito Sports Update. Pat? Thanks, Pat. Our Chevy call to the bullpen for the 8th. The Cardinals call on very busy right-handed reliever, all-star Pat Neshek.
48 appearances on the year. 44 of those have been scoreless. And he has been quite the find. 4-0, that great ERA, 0.83, 2 saves. Right-handers are batting 128 against Pat. Lefties 164. So it really doesn't matter who's up there. He's been doing the job.
Think about how long he has been good too, Al. He's not like a guy that maybe just figured something out and it works for a week or two. This has been a season-long jump in the career of Pat Neshek. There's the numbers you're talking about, just dominating. And he dominates Jonathan Lucroy, another all-star. Sunday, August 17th, salute the career of Hall of Fame manager Tony La Russa. 25,000 fans, 16 and older, will receive a one-of-a-kind Tony La Russa statue featuring his Hall of Fame red jacket, courtesy of Apple Vacations. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
That's another great look.
Enjoyed listening to Tony's Hall of Fame speech and watching that. And congratulations one more time to those 6 deserving players and managers. Half swing popped up to Colton Long. Overbay fooled on that particular delivery.
And change up there, and Ricky Weeks is going to pinch hit now.
Neshek does things pretty quickly too, doesn't he? He just
like him.
Attacks the zone. Part of his success. Another strike one, this time to Weeks, who has big power. We've seen it over the years. 9 for 39 as a pinch hitter. And when he hits him, he hits him. He has very, very good power. Perfect delivery again from Neshek. Now it's 0-2.
Neshek a year ago was almost exclusively a slider pitcher. Started throwing. His father told him you need to start using your fastball again, and by doing so, it's gained a couple miles an hour in velocity.
0-2. This is outside.
Ricky, I don't know about you, but he still has the good slider. But
yep.
I like the changeup that he's incorporating more and more.
I think the results of it have been tremendous. I almost see it being telegraphed a bit, but hitters can't hit it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of speed off it.
Tony called for a fastball away, and Neshek backed off and see if they changed the pitch. Maybe not. They want the fastball. They want the slider.
Good choice. Neshek dominates the Brewers here in the 8th. Cardinals lead by 2 here in St. Louis. Light Line, the perfect beer for whatever happens. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. 9-7 Cardinals. Tom Gorzolani, the veteran left-hander, our Chevy called to the bullpen. Between innings here, we were treated to some old baseball movies, some clips of Major League, and Naked Gun, and the umpire, Leslie Nielsen, and the crowd was just going bonkers over that. And so you and I were too. On the edge of our seats.
Love Bob Uecker, and
yes,
part of Major Leagues broadcasting, Ball 4, Ball 8.
And when you think Milwaukee Brewers, you think Bob Uecker.
Yep. If you got a little age on you, you can remember Bob Uecker and his many, many appearances on Johnny Carson. That was my first exposure to him, and just absolutely fell in love with his humor and dry wit and everything else. The first time I heard him broadcast a game, I was disappointed because he does it straight.
Right. Where's the humor? Very funny guy, very gracious to us when we get a chance to visit with him. Doesn't travel as much as he used to, but when we go to Milwaukee, he's there and holding court and as fun as ever. Matt Carpenter leads things off for St. Louis here in the 8th.
Native of Milwaukee, and he is very proud of his city, and they're proud of him also. Gorzolani saw he had a 0 ERA in 12 appearances. He's coming off of shoulder surgery in the offseason. Was reinstated from the DL on June the 2nd and has pitched well in his recovery.
Gorzolani and Duke, both Pirates at one point.
Been together a long time, haven't they?
And they found their way in the bullpen. 2-1 to Carpenter. Late swing and a foul.
Jacob Peavy loses his second game for the Giants since he was acquired, and he is now 1-11 for the season.
A lot of teams rolling the dice at the end of July, weren't there? Watch out. That hits Carpenter, and I think it may have caught the catcher Lucroy as well.
Cardinals have the 2-run lead, but sure wouldn't be bad to get a couple more in this game.
Thinking the same thing.
Rosenthal is warming up, but the more the cushion, the better. A pretty good idea how quick these pitches are.
Whoa! That hurt a fan.
It hurt more fans than it did Carpenter.
Bunt attempt popped up to one of those fans.
Trying to get the fan vote for the All-Star game next year. Last cycle, Gorzolani versus the Brewers back in 2005. He needs the triple, and with his speed, he can get it.
Up the middle, caught by the shortstop Segura. No chance to double off Carpenter. Kind of a soft liner off the bat of Wong. Not a bad at-bat, but they finally retire Wong. Actually done it twice. He's 3 for 5 here tonight, but he's had a nice night. Almost had another hit.
Yeah, good to see him have that type of bat against a left-hander, too.
That brings in Matt Holliday. Holliday 2 for 4. We've talked about how well he hits the Brewers. It is base hit up the middle against Kyle Loesch. I'm still thinking about how close that came to hitting Kyle. So glad it didn't.
385, 5 for 13, a home run against Gorzelani. That's hit more home runs against the Milwaukee Brewers than any other team.
I think this would be a good matchup for Holiday, just in general. The way Gorzelani throws from the left side, pretty good swing there, just a little late.
I thought that would have been a pitch that he could have done some damage with, but you don't always put a good swing on every pitch.
Should also extend our congratulations to Aeneas Williams, St. Louisan, for going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame today.
Very well deserved.
And a wonderful gentleman and a good friend. Congratulations, Aeneas. Holiday strikes out on a pitch up in the zone, very similar to his last at-bat. And it'll be up to Matt Adams for the Cardinals to score here in the 8th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Adams looking for his first hit. He walked and scored in the 5th inning. And he takes strike 1. The modified Adams shift is on. Second baseman is deep. Left side of the infield play him extremely to pull. Good slider there from Gorzelani. Ground ball right side. It's going to be a tough throw, and they don't get him. Infield hit for Matt Adams. Herrera playing so deep he couldn't throw out. The Cardinal first baseman, and he gets his first hit of the night, an infield hit.
And then they had a crossing pattern with Segura, the shortstop, and the second baseman. So he reaches out, pulls it right to the vacated second base area, and then you see how the crossing pattern. And just a bang play, but safe. You see,
good call.
When the ball hits the back of the glove.
So RBI opportunity for Johnny Peralta with 2 outs. And that's one of those plays where a pitcher has to say to himself, close his eyes, and say, the shift normally works. The shift normally works.
Oh, yeah.
Frustrating. You get a little ground ball to the right side, and it's a base hit.
The coaches will say, well, you never give us credit for the times it works.
Agreed.
I don't want to point out when it doesn't work, but their numbers must say that it pays off to put the shifts on. One
1-0 to Peralta. Strike on the inside corner. Cardinals have pounded out 12 hits tonight. Again, we'll give you this view behind home plate. How quickly does the ball get from Gorzelani's hand to the glove? Boom. That's about how hard it is to see the baseball, too.
I was going to say that camera shot is probably twice the distance as it is from the pitcher's mound to the home plate. Got a split second to recognize the pitch. See if it's an off-speed pitch, breaking ball, the spin of the ball, and pull the trigger and recognize whether it's a strike or not. All in a split second.
Why we talk about vision being so important for players. The 2-2 on its way. Late swing by Peralta. He didn't pick that pitch up. Second strikeout inning for Gorzelani. We go to the ninth, and Trevor Rosenthal. Cardinals closer.
Got him. Called third strike. Goodbye. Struck him out. He strikes out the side.
Trevor Rosenthal, 32 saves on the season. He's tied with Francisco Rodriguez. And the first pitch is lined into the right field corner and to the wall. Gene Segura, one pitch. And he's standing on second base with a leadoff double here in the ninth inning in a two-run game.
Nobody said it was going to be easy, did they?
There are many people that do not like players swinging at the first pitch when you're down late in the game. As we look at the Chevy call to the bullpen, Trevor Rosenthal and his numbers, but there would be a case of you get a pitch you can handle, even if it's the first pitch, let her rip.
Well, I think so many of those old unwritten rules have been thrown out. Modern baseball, they always have a tendency to say everybody wants to get ahead in the count, so maybe the best pitch you're going to see is that first pitch.
Elian Herrera entered the game in the seventh inning. Had a base hit to lead that seventh inning off and later scored. He has been a thorn in the Cardinals' side as well. And that may have hit him, and it did. Oh my. Bad start for the inning for Trevor Rosenthal. Two runners aboard. The Cardinals, by the way, did score 6 runs in this game, which means that any size coffee, fountain, or frozen drink just 50 cents all day tomorrow and On the Run.
Ball running in on him. He hit the handle, or he changed direction a little bit and went into the glove.
Well, I wonder if that's what Mike Matheny's out here to talk about here. Is did that actually hit the bat?
Or hit him, period.
Or hit him.
It changed directions, though.
And I think they're going to have a conversation about it. Phil Cuzzy is our veteran umpire behind the plate. The crew chief is Jerry Davis, who's our second base umpire. He's going to join Phil. And they're going to get on the bat phone right now and see what
the handle
they have to say about that. Is a foul ball. I believe that's a foul ball.
It sure looked like it was the end of the bat and not the hand.
And I wonder if something's going on with Trevor Rosenthal, too. I saw him look at his finger. Chris Conroy actually went out to check on Rosenthal, and I wonder whether there's some kind of a blister issue maybe going on with him.
See if they call down the bullpen and get somebody up. I know Chris Conroy spoke to Matheny when he came back and said something.
After he hit or the foul ball, either way we look at it, it's being reviewed right now. Herrera, I saw Rosenthal look at his fingers, and Chris Conroy did go out and talk to him, so let's hope there's no issue going on there. I got to believe this is going to be a foul ball, which would be great news for the Cardinals, considering you're at the top of the order now for Milwaukee. You just cannot afford to let 8 and 9 get on base. You are asking for trouble.
Rosenthal normally just dominates against left-handed batters. Left-handed batters are batting 176 against him. Righties 263.
So the Cardinals are challenging the call on the field as a hit by pitch. And no signal yet.
Foul ball.
And they're calling it a foul ball. That's the right call. Wow, is that a break? Boy, do I love instant replay.
Well, watch the knob of the bat. Goes right there, a little change of direction. Got to be a better actor.
I might even get Mike Matheny to admit that he likes instant replay right now.
Right now. This moment, don't wait too long.
Minute 51 for those of you scoring the reviews at home. Ball almost got away from Tony Cruz. 2-1 to Herrera.
Herrera tied for the league lead with 32 saves.
Ground ball to the right side. A lot better than a hit by pitch as Segura advances to third. 1 out and the top of the order in Carlos Gomez. I still believe, Al, that baseball has to do something to inform the 45,719 what the review is about. Seems like they ought to put that on the board. They ought to say what happened. And we hear it through the press box here, and we hear it through our truck, and radio is informed as well. But the fans here at the ballpark often are confused about what's going on in the review process. So when you talk to the commissioner, add that point.
I was going to say, fans would just get in line with everybody else that's confused. Gomez is 1 for 9 with 6 strikeouts against Rosenthal.
Key at bat here, big swing, and he fouled it back 0-2. Trevor Rosenthal trying to close it out for St. Louis. Cardinals trailing the Brewers by 3 games in the Central. 6 strikeouts against Trevor. Make it 7.
throws it by from upstairs. Cardinals trying to gain back the game they lost last night, and then pick up a game on the standings tomorrow with a victory. John Lackey's Cardinal debut.
Cardinal fans on their feet.
Parr 1 for 3 against Rosenthal. Just batting .171 this year, 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Well, blister or not, he's still 98.
Colton Wong, our Budweiser player of the game, a 3 for 5 night with a solo home run, a double, and a base hit.
And 3 RBIs. Boy, what a difference that one challenge makes, doesn't it?
It sure does. Rosenthal 1 strike away from closing it out. Looking for save 33. The 1-2 in the dirt.
Wow. Sure Tony Cruz wasn't expecting that one. And what a pick. Tony's had a nice night himself. 2 hits, walk, a couple runs scored, and catching a winner.
2-2, 2 outs. We'll do it again. The Cardinals hoping to delay until tomorrow, the next time they get a chance to watch Ryan Braun hit. He's next. Don't want to see him here in the ninth. Change up misses, 3-2.
Well, Parr's got to think fastball.
Game on the line in the ninth. The 3-2. He can hardly watch. The pitch. Fouled out of play. We'll do it one more time.
Out to talk to him. Probably say, what do you feel about throwing another changer? The old theory we were taught is don't get beat with your something other than your best pitch, and his best pitch is the fastball.
And you never like to throw a changeup after a conference on the mound. What will he throw? The newest Brewer, the Cardinal closer. Swing and a miss, he got him! Rosenthal closes it out with a changeup.
Well, the Cardinals picked up the game they lost last night. What a difference. What a debut for Masterson. A lot of offense, 9 runs, 12 hits for the Cardinals. Good pitching, clutch pitching when they needed it from the bullpen. and let's win the game tomorrow and pick up a game and be one out from Milwaukee.
The rubber game tomorrow. The Cardinals win this one 9-7. Trevor Rosenthal picks up save number 33. On to the postgame show. That's coming up next on Fox Sports Midwest.